everyone, welcome to Atheist Reads the Bible. This video is to give a little bit of background for anyone who's curious on what this channel is all about before we actually jump in. Make sure you catch the end because I tell you exactly whether or not you're going to like this channel, and specifically which episodes you can watch as a point of reference, or you can just start from the beginning if you're already sold on the concept. I know this because I wrote a script for this video. This is the only time I ever plan on using a script here. I'm looking into the camera and I'm reading it right now as I speak. Everything else will be me reading straight out of this here book and reacting in real time to what we find. First things first, my name is Sean and I grew up in Dallas, Texas, where I was raised in the Church of Christ, which is a collection of somewhat similar but independent churches that primarily exist in the United States.
Oh, whoa, Sean! You were actually a Christian?
Yes. That's a very important factor to make clear as we head into these videos. I did grow up with Christian beliefs. I was a very dedicated Christian for many years of my life. I knew the Bible better than most of my friends, and I clung to the beliefs I was taught with more conviction than many of my peers. I even went to a very conservative private Christian college in a small town in Arkansas, which I believe is mentioned in one of the future videos on the channel. The point being, I have a background in this stuff. But somewhere after graduating in my early 20s, I began deconverting, or deconstructing, if you want to use the more popular term these days. I guess I never really converted in the first place. I just grew up in it, so maybe deconversion actually is the wrong word to use. But it's been about 10 years since I've touched any of this. And even 10 years ago, my feelings of connection and conviction to the beliefs I was brought up in were in decline. Nowadays, my biblical knowledge isn't as sharp as it once was, and I haven't ever actually read this entire book. So this is a bit of an exercise both in looking at this book and the teachings from a more removed perspective, alongside the set of beliefs that I have today, which is total atheism, by the way. I'm not an agnostic. I do not believe in any type of formless or undefined higher power. To be explicitly clear about my stances, I believe there's nothing after death. The same experience you have during dreamless sleep, that's what I think happens when you die. That's not to say I think it's impossible that there's nothing after death. One of my core values and philosophies is skepticism, so generally speaking, I'll always acknowledge that there's a possibility I'm wrong about something. This is a super helpful way of thinking that I'm surprised more people don't adopt. But having clarified that, I think the most likely case is there's nothing after death, and I currently have no reason to believe otherwise. Now, if you're still watching, what I can tell you about this channel is that I already have several episodes recorded. Like I said at the beginning, there are a couple point of references that will tell you whether or not you're going to enjoy it. The first episode is Genesis chapter 4, Cain and Abel. My first few videos are fun and they're still me, but chapter 4 is where I feel like I start to catch my stride. The other episode to check out would be Genesis chapter 19, Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's because I think it's the best episode I've done so far. That's right! I've recorded that far ahead. If you don't like me after either of those episodes, you're probably not going to like this channel. And of course, you can always just start at the beginning and watch it straight through if you want the full picture. Just give me likes and that sweet retention time so this channel can gain traction. I think that's enough before we get started. If you catch this channel early and leave comments, I will read them and I'll respond directly to anything you see in the videos. If you're ready to get started, head over to Genesis chapter 1 and I'll see you there.